Baseball fans had an opportunity to learn about Attleboro's role in the game's history recently at a meeting of the Historic Preservation Society. George Kelleher-Bianchi gave a presentation on a number of regional games that became known as the Little World Series. To find out more, we spoke with Mr. Kelleher-Bianchi after the event.
I kind of got an interest in baseball history and kind of the story that Babe Ruth had come to Attleboro during the Attleboro's tricentennial celebration. There was a small article in the Sun Chronicle that Babe Ruth had come to play in Attleboro, and kind of that knowledge had stuck with me, but I didn't really have any context to it of why he came or any of the circumstances surrounding it. So a few years ago, I thought I'd kind of look into try to get an answer of that. Thinking it would be a simple thing. I'd find out the answer. It would be something interesting to tell my friends or family next time I got together with them. And I just kind of got sucked down the rabbit hole of like doing more and more research. And I've been spending some amount of time over the past 2 years between work and grad school of doing as much research as I can with what's available, mostly through historical newspapers. So the Attleboro Little World Series was a series of games played between mostly Attleboro and North Attleboro, but there were also 3 games between Attleboro and Providence, where they were able to, the local towns hired Major League Baseball players, including 20 future Hall of Famers, to play for their town in exhibition games. I tried to, as much as possible, kind of take a bird's eye view to look at kind of a holistic history of when were the games, who played in the games, why were they significant, and to kind of give the history of some of the players, both the most famous ones like Babe Ruth and some of the also influential ones who maybe have less historical memory to them, like Dick Rudolph or John Stuffy McGinnis, and kind of place it in the context of history. My overall research has allowed me to kind of take a concept, a place-based approach to looking at the history of baseball, both from a business perspective and as a sport, kind of who the players were, why they played, what their lives were like, both on and off the field. And it's been a really great experience researching and writing on that. Well, it started off where I was looking at, I kind of Google in Attleboro Little World Series and see what I could find, and a lot of that was not that great. It was good to get started, so it was kind of the breadcrumbs, and it led me to the really going into the archives and looking at old copies of the Attleboro Sun. And once I was able to put together the dates of when the games happened, it got a lot easier to find the articles that I needed and go through them and read them and put together kind of the research I thought was valuable. So I was able to do it at the Attleboro Public Library for the Attleboro Sun, Brown University's library for the Providence Journal, which has a good amount of coverage of the series, and those were really great sources of information that I've relied upon to kind of put together my narrative. So the website that I put together where I've uploaded all my research and kind of the rough drafts of my writing is AttleboroLittleWorldSeries.blogspot.com. There's also a Facebook group called Attleboro Little World Series. They're pretty easy to find. You just put it in search. It's one of the top few that will come up, and you'll kind of see the research there. I've tried to organize it in a very kind of user-friendly thing. So if you just want to go and see what the scores were or what players played in the games, you can kind of navigate yourself around the page, and it's pretty easy to find. It's been a great experience researching this. I love Attleboro. I live in Stoughton now, but Attleboro will always be my hometown. I think this is a great part of local history, a great part of baseball history that I've enjoyed exploring and sharing with anyone who I meet. My wife nags me all the time, so we'll be at a Paw Sox game and I'll find out someone lives in North Attleboro and I'll be like, hey, have you ever heard about the Attleboro World Series? And then I kind of go on for 20 minutes. So it's been great for me. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm very thankful to the Attleboro Historic Preservation Society and Attleboro Public Access for allowing me to share it with as many people as possible.